British journalist for Channel 4 News, Krishnan Gurumurthy, spoke to Israel spokesman David Mencer about the recent killings by the ADF near aid sites in Gaza. Let's see if he's able to take accountability for Israel and the IDF's actions. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to. I might need to get my Israel propaganda bingo card out because I'm pretty sure we're going to hear the same old excuses. Hamas, Hamas, Hamas. Let's get straight into the video.
Well, a short while ago, I spoke to the Israeli government spokesman, David Mencer. David Mencer, the IDF has admitted shots were fired this morning. Why is Israel firing at people who you have told it is safe to go and collect aid when they are desperate for food?
First things first, Krishnan, we're trying to divorce Hamas from the aid distribution system because Hamas were...
That was quick.
Taking the aid, profiting the aid. You know, they were charging poor...
Evidence, citation. Again, they're saying anything here. We need journalists in there to verify that. You can't just say that without any evidence because there's no reason to believe Israel at this point. We need evidence of this. You can't just say it, David.
Or hungry Gazans to get this food. We're divorcing the two subjects of Hamas.
Why are they hungry, though? You've been blocking aid going into Gaza for months now. Like...
Us and aid distribution to allow hungry Gazans to get the food directly to be able to...
Why are they hungry?
To feed their families in an orderly way. Now, to the event this morning, Tuesday, the IDF have said that as crowds move towards along the designated routes towards a humanitarian aid distribution point in northern Gaza, Israeli soldiers identified several of those people. They left the approved access route. The incident occurred approximately 500 meters, half a kilometer from the distribution site. And after issuing warnings, audio, verbal warnings, warning shots were fired in the air. And unfortunately, some of these suspects continued advancing towards our troops in a threatening manner.
You can already... What does that mean, though? Again, we have to take the IDF's word for this, and they have not been so reliable thus far. Why should we believe this? Threatening manner? They're starving. Of course they're gonna want that food pretty quickly. What do you want them to do? Just, like, what would you do in that situation, David? He isn't in that situation, is he?
And so further fire
they
was
were desperate
directed
for food.
near... No, where there are people desperate for food, we want them...
There are... Do you mean where there are? There are. You don't just shoot them when they haven't eaten for a long time. Come on.
To get the food. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. We're trying to get the food to the individuals. Hamas,
were they armed?
The IDF will be able to answer that question directly, but let me tell you, our...
Well, why can't you? You seem to know a lot about what happened. Why can't you? You seem to have the details 500 meters away. They looking threatening. Okay, how? Oh, okay, I can't give you that details. I can give you the rest. Like, come on, mate. If you're gonna lie, at least try and be convincing about it. I mean, obviously, Israel propagandists are pretty bad at lying. Like usually fascists, you know, they try their hardest. They sometimes are pretty good, you know. Donald Trump, bless him. Nigel Farage is pretty good. These guys, they need that PR training because where are they getting their tips from? It's bad. Bad PR.
Our intention is to get as much food to ordinary Gazans. In the video of the incident on Sunday, the IDF have already released that video, and it showed as clear as daylight.
That's a totally separate incident, David.
Right. Well, but this is very, very important to put this into context.
That's a totally separate...
Well, how can you when you're talking about...
incident in a different place.
No, it's not.
And there's no evidence that was even Hamas.
It's 2 days before. It's 2 days before, and these are Hamas gunmen.
It's not separate. This was 2 days before. See, the incoherence, the cognitive dissonance, the just split in the brain of people who will just bend in pretzels just to kind of justify war crimes, the worst, most heinous, disgusting behavior from the IDF. Like, can they do no wrong? And when they do actually admit war crimes, it's always mistakes.
Firing on their own people, Christian.
You don't know that.
Why they're
There's
doing
no
that?
evidence for that. And it's in a
Well, we've
totally
shown you
separate
the
incident.
video.
Let's keep
We've
it to what
released
happened
the
this
video.
morning. Let's keep
we
it to what
can't
happened this
separate
morning.
the two.
Was anybody
I'm sorry.
armed?
We can't
Did anybody
separate the
fire
two.
at the IDF?
We can't separate the two. We can't separate the two. Now, the IDF said they were advancing in a threatening manner, and obviously they felt their lives were
What does that mean?
under threat.
What do you mean, obviously? No. Like, obviously, no. What evidence? Like,
The IDF operates under international law.
really? Really?
Not Channel 4 law, international law. And
That's a strange defensive thing to say. Not Channel 4 law. What? What? Come on, mate. You can do better than
that's
this.
why it's very important. The details of this case are very important. Now, the IDF is aware of these reports and also of casualties, and they are reviewing the incident. But look, a couple of things are clear. We are not preventing the
Is anybody going to be held accountable for their actions? No.
arrival of Gazans. The opposite. We want more humanitarian aid sites, and we want more Gazans to collect that food. We're encouraging it. Now, these warning shots were fired
David,
away from the aid distribution
twice
point.
now,
Yeah.
desperate people who have been starved for weeks have been shot at while trying to collect aid. You are terrifying the population of Gaza even more. They're too scared now to go to collection points because they know they could be shot at by the IDF.
So that is precisely the Hamas rhetoric that they want you to publish.
Oh my God. It literally is just so predictable. You say a fact on the ground, and then it's like, oh no, it's Hamas. What the hell? So you are literally shooting at people trying to get like just basic food. Like, and they're doing it on purpose. So they make that connection like, yes, you get the food, but we will kill you. We will continue to terrorize you.
It's the
And let's
fact
be
of
clear,
what's happened.
Israel
More than
is
50
not,
people
no,
are
that's
dead.
not the facts, Christian. You have got the facts wrong, because we've already shown you video of Hamas firing on their own people, because this is the
No, you
last
haven't.
hand. Yes, we have. We released it on Sunday evening.
That is a
We did
totally
release it.
spurious video. It's a spurious video of a different incident
What, the video
in a
of
different
Hamas
place.
firing? No, the video of Hamas firing on their own people trying to get hold of aid is spurious, is it? I think it's
You have
it's
no
precisely the
evidence
point.
that that was Hamas or it was at the same incident.
Okay, that's slightly ridiculous. Sometimes, Christian, you actually add.
No, you have to provide the evidence. Like, again, they have nothing, so they just have to, like, oh, just the video. Okay, where's the context? What happens? Has any journalist verified, identified who's in that video? No, it's just a video. Okay. Should we trust Israel and the IDF? Have they got a reputable history on that kind of stuff?
Advocate for Hamas, and I must say it's bizarre.
No, that's
because
offensive.
That's a straw man. They always do that, like, oh, what? Why didn't you just let us kill people? Are you defending Hamas now? It's like, come on. They always do this. Fascists always do this talking point, like, oh, well, if you didn't let us kill brown people or people we don't like, you're the enemy.
Hamas are a
David, and
genocide.
you really shouldn't say
It
things
is
like
offensive
that.
to
It's
Israel.
just attacking the media.
It is offensive to
and
Israel.
It's a
because
talking
you,
point.
See, again, fragile, like, oh, offensive to Israel. Well, I'm sorry. Be offended. Stop doing this. Stop the occupation. Stop the genocide. Let food in. Let journalists in. Let the UN. Let The Hague arrest Netanyahu, and we can move forward. Two-state solution. Bish bash bosh. Let's get some peace in Israel, Palestine, but he doesn't want that. Of course he doesn't want that.
And it just shows you're avoiding the question. The question is...
I'm not avoiding the question. I'm precisely arguing...
This aid operation that you are operating now is ineffective. The UN one worked, and you have stopped the UN distributing aid.
The opposite is true.
It was the UN who were distributing aid, not Hamas.
The opposite is true, Christian. Over 7 million meals have been delivered in 1 week. Aid is reaching civilians, but not Hamas. This is their last hand. Hamas's last hand on the neck of the last hand on the neck of Gaza's people. We're breaking that link. We've even produced a woman-only aid lane, which was launched today, which is protecting vulnerable populations amongst Gazans. Look. Reports where there are injuries are going to be investigated, but we've shown already with video Hamas doesn't want this to work.
David. They're not just...
I thought you knew what was going on. Investigated. How do you know what's going on? Like, they're not going to be investigated. No one cares. The IDF, like, it's just another day in a string of genocide. They don't care.
Hamas doesn't...
I mean, there's a pattern here, is the trouble, of you saying things and Israel saying things that turn out later to be untrue. And that's clearly what's happening here as well.
So that is what Hamas wants you to think.
Fuck me, man. That's what... See, a normal person wouldn't respond to that. If you're not lying, if you are telling the truth, well, you'll bring evidence, first of all. They don't have that, so they have to lie. Okay, so they have nothing then. So it's like, well, that's what Hamas want you to think. Hamas, the, billionaire-funded, highly sophisticated militia group. Oh, no, sorry. That's the IDF. Sponsored by the West, America, UK. There you go.
We have developed a new system to separate... No, it's not the fact. The facts are that 7 million meals have been given to hungry Gazans. That's the facts. Over 7 million meals delivered in 1 week. That never happened under the former system because Hamas stole the aid. Then
evidence, citation, please. If you want to talk about evidence, where's the evidence of that? They keep talking, again, on the bingo card, another, talking point. Where's the evidence of that?
They extorted their own people. They charged them money. No Gazan should be charged money for aid which they deserve, which is due to them because they are hungry. Hamas was using those funds to sustain this war.
We're breaking that link. Given out by the United Nations.
Evidence, again, citation needed.
Nations, and people were not being charged for it. Now the United Nations Secretary General, who is a man who's respected all over the world,
he's not respected.
Has called for an independent investigation.
No, I'm sorry. The UN is not respected. Will you allow an independent investigation?
Yeah, the UN's not respected. Israel is, even though it's an international pariah for war crimes, genocide, and the starvation of the Gazan people. Come on, mate. They live in a different world. Again, bespoke reality, mirror world, just flip the world upside down, and that's it.
It is around most of the world, maybe not in Israel. So are you rejecting an independent investigation?
Every single Hamas terrorist which attacked us on October the 7th was a graduate of a United Nations education. Now, you cannot tell me that the UN is a respected organization. They have unfortunately perpetuated this conflict. They should be...
No. Israel have. Get out of Gaza. Get out of the West Bank. All roads lead back to occupation, a settler colonial project. That is not something that should be happening in the 21st century. It's a thing of the past. We need to move forward, David. Come on.
Humanitarian.
Well, you may not respect the UN, but are you rejecting...
We have begged them to be humanitarian. This is not just the UN calling for this. But they wish to sustain Hamas's leadership. They wish to sustain Hamas's leadership, and we are not... Listen, when the British Army is...
Weren't 30,000 Hamas people killed? Like, is Israel only democracy in the Middle East, apparently, most sophisticated, well-funded military, and somehow Hamas are like these like super soldiers that just unbeatable. Like, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
Accused of doing misdemeanors, there is no independent investigation. There is an internal investigation.
Two wrongs
That's
don't
what
make a
all
right.
democracies do. No, because it's double standards, Christian. That's what you're guilty of. Different rules apply to Israel. Is it because we're
No, it doesn't. Actually, they do. They get away with it. Like, other countries would not get away with this. But Israel, oh, it's fine. Don't criticize them too much. Come on. Where's your red line? Come on, our red line. Come on. Oh, he's naughty, isn't he, Netanyahu? No. Different rules do apply to him. That's why people are sick of Israel.
Jewish, Christian? Is that why you think there are special rules which apply to this country, the only Jewish country in the
Oh my God. See, that's all they have. That's it. Like, Hamas, like, that's it. So if you criticize Israel now, because they try and conflate Zionism with Israel, the state, the project, no. Ironically, he's the one being anti-Semitic here, trying to make that conflation, which is disgusting.
I'm saying there are calls
this country
all around
is
the
being
world
demonized.
for independent
This
investigation.
country is being
because you won't allow the
Yes, it is being demonized. Rightly so. In the same way, I will demonize Russia. I will demonize Turkey. I will demonize India. There's plenty of countries in the world to demonize. A lot of them, to be honest. There's quite a few dictatorships, authoritarian countries, fascist countries. Israel comes under that banner. We will it's okay to demonize fascists. Hot take.
in. You won't allow international organizations in.
Precisely,
and you are
that's
judging
not true.
yourselves.
International
That's why they have no credibility.
We do have credibility.
You're not allowing the international...
That's how credibility works. If you say, I've got credibility, that means you've got credibility. That's how credibility works.
Media in. You do not give free passage to the United Nations. You've expelled UNRWA, the organisation which was dispensing aid, and you're saying that you'll investigate yourselves. It's no wonder people don't trust that.
No, oh, we're trustworthy. IDF, we're trustworthy. Investigate. Just leave it to us. We'll investigate this genocide. It'll be fine. We'll be objective, impartial. Don't worry, guys.
So we're not interested in your trust. Our priority is getting our hostages home, Christian. That's what we care about. We're not sending journalists.
Really? You're not doing very well at it, are you? You're not making any deals. You're killing tens of thousands of people. Even the hostages. How many hostages are there left at this point? Probably none. And because they've been killed by Israel.
We want to get our hostages out. That's what we care about. Now, real journalists enter Gaza with the IDF. Hamas journalists never leave. And many of these so-called journalists who have been killed in Gaza.
An escort around Gaza.
Yep.
Yeah. Many
Most
of these
real
so-called
journalists from outside Israel are not allowed into Gaza. Let us in.
Right, so we want to get our hostages. We want to get our hostages out.
Can't answer the question. Can't answer. Again, of course you can't answer the question, because it's then you enter the realms of reality, evidence, and what Israel have done and continue to do. And then you have to go, right, okay, if the West is legitimate, again, I've said it before, human rights, rule of law, international law mean anything at this point in the 21st century going forward with what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening in Sudan, what's happening across the world, like Pakistan, India. If international law, if the rule of law has any meaning, Netanyahu needs to be in prison. But that isn't going to happen. And we're just going to see. Well, we don't know. It gives carte blanche to any authoritarian who just wants to then be like, oh, yeah. Where's Putin going to invade next?
And rather than you in, Christian, that's our priority. Maybe your priority
don't want us to see what you're doing. That's the truth.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the story's on every single screen across the world. So this nonsense, this canard of it's not story's not getting out.
Yeah, and there'd be tens of dozens more. There'd be way more. Because we'd be like, oh my God, yes, we see the extent of the chaos. And we're talking about not 50,000, maybe 100,000, 200,000 more. 70% of Gaza has been flattened. How many deaths does it take to people go, actually, yeah, we need to force, there needs to be an international intervention to force journalists into Gaza?
Checked by the international media, and it allows you to say what's coming out of Gaza is untrue. So you stop us going in and you dismiss what's coming out, and so you can carry on saying whatever you want, and you won't allow any independent investigation or scrutiny.
True.
Look, when it comes to journalists, we are a free country, we are a free society.
Really? They was, again, just tick it off, democracy, free country. Really?
We have the most open media of anywhere, hundreds of miles in any direction. But unfortunately, an independent journalist in media in Gaza gets killed because if you
by the IDF.
put out anything hostile to Hamas, you get killed in Gaza. That's the reality.
It's the Israelis who have a record of killing journalists.
Yeah.
Whether it's Shireen Abu Akleh or James Miller or other.
They're such victims, so fragile. Like, oh, that's appalling, even though it's true. No, don't say it. Be mean to me. Stop being mean.
That's an appalling. Many so-called journalists in Gaza are actually, unfortunately, these are facts that many of these so-called journalists are just Hamas operatives.
Again, citation needed evidence. Who?
With press vests. Just check their social media. It's full of praise for Hamas for the simple
Oh my God. They have nothing.
reason that if you're a journalist in Gaza and you put out anything hostile to Hamas, you get murdered. Our priority is getting our hostages out, not your journalists in.
David Mencer, thank you very much for your time.
Just
good to be with you.
Nothing. Pathetic man. Just disgusting. Lies, smears, no evidence, just... And then you're being mean to me. How dare you demonize a genocidal Zionist state that wants to ethnically cleanse a whole population? How dare you be mean to me? It's pathetic, disgusting, abhorrent, and the world will be a very unstable place if Netanyahu is not brought to justice. So that's the 21st century. That's us moving forward. I'll see you next time.